So like I said, waiting over in Studio 2A, we have Lano bringing their sumptuous soundscapes, beautiful songs off of their album Slow Skate. Super, super, super excited for this one. You do not want to miss it. But first, I have to tell you, please do tune in. We are live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. You do not want to miss seeing this. So check it out. Lano, whenever you're ready, take it away.
I will wait for you till the sun falls from out of the sky. What else can I do? I will wait for you, meditating how sweet life will be when you come back to me.
You're listening to KXCI Tucson. This is Locals Only, and we are live in Studio 2A with Lano. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm really into it, though. It's like you're coming at us from under the sea. No worries. For some of you, this is your second, third time here, but Lano, I think it's your first as a musician. Am I right? Am I wrong?
No, that's right.
That's
First
right,
as a
yeah.
musician, yeah.
Yeah, but you've been here the past 2 years to talk about Chick Magnet, which is one of your many, many projects.
Right.
But we're really glad to have you here in this capacity.
Yeah, took a while to have enough of a band participation. You know what I mean? Like I've just been playing with a rotating cast of people, so this is the most consistent I've ever been with the band. So
Hooray.
It's time for Locals Only.
Yeah. Congratulations across that line.
Yes.
The album is called Slow Skate, just so everyone knows. And let's introduce this consistent
We
group
have
of musicians.
Adon on drums. Super happy to have Adon on drums, Jack Meany on bass, and Jack Dash, my husband, on guitar.
And Jack were both here for Miss Abysmal, which I played earlier in the hour, just to jog your memory. So this album, Slow Skate, has been kind of cooking for 3 years, since 2016.
Yeah, I started writing those songs pretty much the day after the very first Chick Magnet. So yeah, the summer of 2016, and then started playing them live, sometimes by myself with the drum machine, sometimes with whoever could participate at the moment. And I played several of those songs live for a while, and then finally got to a point where it was time to just record them, and then I had new material by that point. So yeah, they were a while in the making, but it was nice it was well worth the wait to work with the right people.
Yeah. Was there something at that first Chick Magnet that kind of inspired you to start the next day, right away?
Sort of. I mean, it was Chick Magnet's I released my first ever album, Subtle, at the first Chick Magnet, and so I had written all of those songs basically directly into my computer, just home recorded, and couldn't ever play any of them live because I literally just couldn't remember what I was playing. I mean, I wrote them all in the moment and then never played them again. So I just wanted new material so I could start playing live out, Yeah.
How was it when you first performed live as Lano? Did it kind of satisfy that itch?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I definitely like performing, and I like the process of using music to just integrate emotions or experiences, and it's definitely become a tool in the toolbox, I kind of feel like I should write a song.
Yeah, which we should say your artistic toolbox is ginormous, and that goes for a lot of the people here. I know that Adon works in video often. He's done lighting, and everyone has a strong visual, or there's
everyone
a three-dimensional.
Very special. Yeah, in all kinds of ways.
Jack Meany is an accounting whiz,
which is
that is true.
Required.
It's an art form.
Yeah. I'm just saying that there's a three-dimensional artistry to this, and you bring it whenever you perform live. How much time do you put into the visual aspect of Lano?
I would say I consider myself a visual artist first, and music came much later for me, and mostly just out of experimentation. So I often find that whatever color palette I'm using with my colored pencils or my paints, or whatever shapes I'm drawn to making, I can sense those same colors in the songs or the vibe that eventually happens here with the music. And then I definitely do all of my album artwork or flyers and things like that. It's a really fun thing as an artist to also have a music project, because there's just so much visual art that can accompany your music and kind of complete a package, and I really find that to be a very satisfying part of the process.
So when you were making this album, what was the visual art that you were making that was maybe not intentionally affiliated with the album?
Yeah, I would say I got really into using my Prismacolor pencils, and Sarnoff Art Supply, shout out. You can go there and buy single colors at a time, and I don't know, I just the album artwork that you're holding right there is definitely what I had kind of been like making these amorphous. This person did it really well here that did the board.
Bridget.
Yeah, she's amazing. Just kind of like abstract colorscapes. I'm like super into color and texture and shape as opposed to maybe content. And I kind of find my music ends up being that way too. Like it's a lot about texture and feel much more than it is about like what I'm doing technically.
Right.
I tend to write really simple songs because that's all I know how to do. And I want to be making music. So I write very simple chord structures and I play with musicians who are way better than me, who can like come in and fill them out in these really fantastic ways.
Yeah, so quickly before we go back to the music, so you write this song, you have this like this synesthetic kind of connection between visuals and music, and then when you bring it to these guys, and feel free to chime in, what happens then?
Yeah, what happens then?
Well, for a long time, Lano and I were playing as a two-piece, so we had a really long time, or I had a long time to sit with the songs that she had already been sitting with for about a year. So we had kind of a long time to gestate it, and we lived together, so, you know, we can practice a lot. But I feel like what we recorded on the album has come out really differently, translated through Jack and Adon on the bass and drums. When we first went into the album, we didn't have any bass or any drums. So
well, and they're not on the finished album, but I would say like I'm pretty open for everyone to do what they want. Like I have the song and the order of the verses and whatever, and then I'm like, do whatever. I mean, I trust these people that mostly it's like the right people have been magnetized to the project and they kind of get it. Like Don was like, oh yeah, I want to do drums in your project. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be perfect, because I know that we have similar aesthetic, and like Jack Meany's really great, and he just hopped in and I hardly even pay attention to what he's doing. I just know it sounds good. It does. Like I just totally trust the people I'm working with. So I hope it's fun for them having that kind of creative control over what they're bringing to it.
Yeah.
Even though maybe the structure is set.
Yeah, I think it comes through. It's a good vibe in this room.
Thanks.
Everyone seems happy.
I feel good.
Yeah. Should we play more music? I'd be into that.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it.
Sounds good. Whoa, wrong thing. All right.
Soak the earth, hold up.
Can I pause? I forgot to change the Gotta have all the effects.
Soak the earth, holy desert rain. Watch the place come to life again. Lightning strikes in the middle of day. Water comes to wash away. Clear it all away. Soak the
This is KXCI Tucson. My name is Sophie, and you're listening to Locals Only. We are live in Studio 2A, joined by Lano. Thanks so much. So happy you guys are all here. So I want to put this in the most positive terms because I mean it in a super positive way. But I couldn't formulate it perfectly in my head, so I'm going to just try. I want to go back to this moment where you started writing music after being a visual artist for a really long time, or identifying as a visual artist. And I'm just thinking about how your music doesn't sound like anyone that, like, it doesn't, I can't connect it immediately to, like, this influence or, like, late 90s girl pop, you know, like, I can't contextualize it super easily. And I wonder if it comes from having, like, no formal music, like, training or anything like that. And how did you develop this sound? Like, was it from a dream? Was it from...
Yes, it was all from a dream, Sophie. I had this vision of lights. No. I kind of started tinkering around with a keyboard, like, in 2011, and I was part of a group called Mellow Bellow, and it was very much like electronic, like, drum machine, and I wasn't singing on that project, but I was just getting my confidence with playing a keyboard part over and over again and kind of learning this instrument. And when that band kind of dissolved, I realized, like, oh, music's kind of a part of, like, I can't just stop playing just because that project is no longer, you know, in focus or making music. So I had already started writing little songs with myself, and, you know, so I just kind of kept at it. And honestly, it was like during a time in my life where there was just a lot of upheaval and a lot of internal transitions, and, like, it became like a really nice friend. I was, like, living alone for the first time ever in my life, and I would just put my headphones on and make music because it made me feel less alone, which maybe a lot of people can relate to. I think it's, like, a really powerful tool in, like, healing or processing, or, like I said before, like, integrating a certain circumstance or emotion. So I had already been writing poetry, and I think it just kind of fused together. I wasn't afraid of it, I guess, is the thing too. Like, I had been around enough people making music, and I trusted that I had a good enough ear for what I wanted to make. And it might not sound like anyone else. I literally, when people come to play music with me, I'm like, I don't know, I'm doing this formation, and I don't know what chord it's called or anything. So it really just comes from, like, a feeling, and I'll pick a chord I like, and then I'll be like, okay, let's see what chord I like after that. And then it eventually turns into a song. And I think I just was around enough people writing songs that I just wasn't afraid to. I mean, it's a really vulnerable thing, and but I just wasn't, I felt comfortable with it. I mean, I don't totally feel comfortable. I'm super nervous tonight, and my voice is all cracky and stuff, but the process of, like, putting yourself out there as an artist in whatever form you're making, I think, like, the sharing part is really important. So it just became, like, important for me to share it and to keep playing. So.
Yeah. So you talk about how the feeling for this album, correct me if I'm wrong, is that feeling of the 2016, 2017 upheaval.
Yeah.
And I know that you guys are working on new songs.
Yeah.
What is the kind of, like, primal place that those are coming from?
Sure. I mean, maybe from a happier place. Like, I got married last year, and, like, things aren't so tough on my heart lately. So I just, like, maybe from just a more, like, I don't know. And actually, like, it's, you know, like, being alone and living alone and, like, feeling like your heart's being rearranged and your life's being rearranged is, like, a really good catalyst for writing music. So to be honest, I haven't been writing as much music. Like, the 4 songs that will be on this EP are songs that are even now, like, almost a year old, you know? So it's, I don't know. Like, the last song we played was because my cat ran away. That's, like, literally a song about my cat. Like, my cat ran away in the same week that my car got stolen, in the same week that my aunt passed away. So there's just, like I said, a lot of the songs on this album specifically are coming from, like, me just processing a lot of a lot of emotion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely identify with that. The feeling where you're like, something bad needs to happen in order for me to make art at this.
Well,
this
it's cool because like I can still I guess because I identify more with being a visual artist, I can kind of like sense when it's time to write a song, and it's usually when something's feeling pretty heavy, and it's not like just because I'm like happy right now. I'm not happy all the time, and songs also do come from happiness, and they come from sadness, and they come from worry.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like I have an internal sense now that like, oh, I want to like color in my journal for a while about that, or I want to like play around on my keyboard for a while about this feeling. It's
Do
like
you
a way to
find
move
that
it.
when you are writing specifically a uplifting or happy song, it's like more of an arduous process?
No, I don't actually. Yeah, I think it's just as good. It's funny how like we think we have to suffer to get some kind of satisfaction out of our relationships or out of our projects, and no, you can do it with like love in your heart and a smile on your face, like as cheesy as that sounds.
Oh no,
I don't mind
I'm
being
so
cheesy.
happy.
I love being cheesy.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, well, and to be honest, like the like happier, sweeter songs that I wrote that are on that album, some they came from like an equally as deep place, but like in a good way, So
Yeah. So this album was recorded in your house, right?
yeah, most of it.
Did you have to learn a new skill set to do that?
Yeah, well, that first project that I was a part of, Mellow Bellow, we did all of our recording on a laptop and GarageBand, so I was really familiar with that process. I had already been recording music, and so it was just like a DIY. I'm very much a do-it-yourself kind of person, and I like all of the creative control that it provides, and now like Jack just lays down his guitar, and then Adon didn't do drums on this album. A friend Mark did the drums, so we went to his house and he recorded drums there on a different laptop, and it just you kind of Mod Podge it together and literally burned CDs for Chick Magnet, and I don't know, not fancy about it, but
So the EP that in the next month we're thinking maybe.
Yeah.
Did you guys recorded that in the same
same way.
Just,
Adon has all the tracks and he's putting drums down on them, and then we'll send them to Jack for bass, and then
group effort.
group effort. It's really fun. Yeah.
And are you guys going to have like a party or a celebration or
Yeah, we probably
release
should. We haven't really talked
shindig?
about that.
Well, we can plan it now.
Yeah, we can totally plan it now.
The dream for Slow Skate was to rent out Skate Country.
Yeah,
if
maybe-
you're listening, Skate Country, and do it there. So
We
maybe
wanna
for
be
the
in
EP.
Skate Country,
Yeah, maybe
yeah.
for the EP.
Yeah, you could do a dual release. So
Yeah, we could do a
Slow Skate
re-release
and- yeah.
with a new burned edition.
I'm thinking about just having this year's Chick Magnet at Skate Country. Just like, can we get everyone to Skate Country? So
Yeah,
we can skate?
Shop Tucson local, Skate Country.
Totally. I think
so
it's
great.
I think it works.
Yeah. So you guys don't have any like shows that are booked right now on the horizon?
Yeah, supposedly we're playing Al's Club on March 28th, but that's still like a kind of up in the air. That will be a
Yeah, we're
that'll
hoping
either make it
for
or
that.
it won't. I don't know.
But
yeah.
real quick before we go back to music, I do know that your live shows are something else.
Thank you.
They're very sumptuous, very visual. Can you talk a little bit about developing the live show? And did it come naturally? Did you sit down and like draw like a set design?
No, I mean, for the first year that I was playing live, my good friend Gabriela Molina did visuals for me, which, I mean, her work is just so incredible. And I was very lucky that she was like down to make these incredible visuals for my live set.
Which
So
actually,
for a while,
quick plug, the photos that she took of you guys
Thank
are
you.
so great.
Yeah,
I love them so much.
She's got a great eye, and so she made visuals for like the first year that I was playing. If you were to catch me during those early days, you saw this like epic, amazing, like film short, like a stop motion collage thing behind me. I also do video work, but it's just not it's not my main priority, but I have made visuals for my live sets before as well. Sometimes we wear capes and costumes and like,
I saw that.
oh, you saw that. Okay, yeah. Sometimes we like go crazy. I guess it's just kind of however we're feeling. Sometimes I'll paint Jack's face and make him wear a cape or something, and he goes along with it, which is nice.
She makes good headdresses.
I made a really nice headdress. Yeah. So it's kind of just whatever comes together for whichever show. I mean, each venue kind of has its own feel, so you kind of work with what's going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I think Adon has done visuals for us too at a Subspace show because he does amazing
that's
video
right.
work. And I think you're gonna maybe work on some visuals for.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Wait, visuals for what?
Well, I mean, just for our live set because he's like a wizard.
Yeah.
And what he could do in half the time that I could do is much better anyway. So. So
working on it.
Adon's
Yeah,
working
for sure.
on it.
Adon, real quick because we haven't hung out in a really long time.
I know, what's up,
Are you a lighting designer now too?
I am. I don't know if I would call myself that, but it's working its way around in my head.
That is so awesome. You have such a rich group here.
I'm super lucky.
Yeah. So you have 2 more songs?
Yeah, we'll do 2 more songs.
Okay, perfect. And then we'll talk just a little bit and then send it over to the Scratching Post, which is next up on KXCI. is KXCI Tucson. You are listening to Locals Only. You've been listening to Lano live in Studio 2A. Lano, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Such a
Of
pleasure.
course, anytime.
Cool.
Next up, don't go anywhere. The Scratching Post with Amber. Amber, take it away.